Hello to you listening to this. It's Bryce here from Making Kayfabe with a quick message to let you know that our latest episode on Mike Kanellis was actually recorded prior to his release from WWE. However, it's a damn fine episode regardless, so I'll lead you into past Bryce and Dylan right now.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another excellent episode of Making Kayfabe. It's the wrestling podcast. We're two boys. That's me and my friend Bryce. We go through wrestling history and we pick out some of the more questionable things that have happened and we try to rewrite it. We make our own history here. That's why we're making our own kayfabe. So today I'm going to be pitching my idea to Bryce and he's going to be trying to tell me whether or not he likes it, what he likes about it, what he doesn't like about it, give his opinions on it, you know? So, Bryce, hello, how are you?
I'm very well. I'm skeptical about the one you've chosen today. But yeah, I'll let you kind of say who it is. But I mean, I can't see how you can make a good story out of this guy.
Well, here's the good thing. There's more to it than what I told you, obviously. But it's not just Mike Kanellis.
Oh my gosh, Mike Kanellis and Viscera!
Mike Kanellis and Maria Kanellis. Spoiler, how about that?
Well, yeah, that kind of goes without saying, doesn't it?
Yeah, but, right. Well, you know what I'll do?
What will you do?
I'll tell you who else is involved. It's not just Mike Kanellis and Maria Kanellis.
Oh.
There's a third person.
Viscera
Okay?
Kanellis.
It's just going to keep going. Like, it's not just these five people. Here's Viscera. So, we've got Mike Kanellis, Maria Kanellis, and Ty Dillinger.
Ty Dillinger?
Yes.
All right, Sean Spears himself.
Are you intrigued?
I'm more intrigued now.
Excellent. Well, then let me break some stuff down for you.
I can see this
First of
podcast being a perfect 10.
That's a good joke.
Thank you.
We'll get to that. So let's do a little bit of like kind of background history first.
Sure.
Okay. Mike and Maria Kanellis debuted for the WWE in June 18th, 2017. So this is gonna take place that kind of time, 2017. Okay. Ty Dillinger was brought up onto the main roster on the Royal Rumble in 2017, which was on January 29th. But he really, there was a couple of months where he didn't do anything, so he officially appeared on SmackDown April 4th, 2017. Okay, so we got our time frame. It's my storyline's gonna be around 2017, the later half. Okay, That's when they're both in the main roster. For a little bit of background information on both guys, Ty Dillinger. He left the WWE on February 2019. So this year, February 22nd, 2019. Okay? In that time, that 2 years-ish, 1.5 years on the main roster, he did zip. Like, he did nothing. I really had, what did he do? You remember this. It wasn't that long ago. What did Ty Dillinger do in the main roster?
He done not a lot. I seem to remember him challenging for the US title at one point, but that was the Intercontinental title, something like that. Like him versus Nakamura or something. I can't remember, but yeah, he done pretty much nothing.
It went nowhere. Nothing happened. The guy was probably right to leave because they had nothing for him, and they didn't do anything with him. In the Royal Rumble, when he debuted at number 10 spot. Because that was his gimmick. He was the perfect 10. So it was pretty funny. Like, oh, he's the perfect 10. He came in at number 10. That's good. Maybe they can keep this going. They didn't.
He got into that weird kind of level of over in wrestling where, like, if they didn't put Ty Dillinger as number 10 in that Royal Rumble, the fans would just boo the entire match.
Yeah.
Because he was like super over in NXT that time, and everyone was talking about perfect 10, 10, 10, 10. And yeah, it was like, it's one of these things that WWE had to do, otherwise, the match would be shit on.
Right. But what they should have done after that is literally anything. Because they didn't, right? Like, I have nothing for Ty Dillinger. They did nothing for him. So that's his history. Let me give you a little rundown of the history of Mike and Maria Kanellis. So they're still employed by the company. Like I said, they debuted in... when did they debut? June in 2017. It's now 2019, and they actually have done something. Let me tell you exactly what they've done. They have won the 24/7 championship 3 times. Quite pretty impressive, right? Mike won the belt on July 29th on Raw. Ran backstage, found his wife Maria, who demanded that he lay down so that she can pin him. He does that. She pins him. She's the new champion.
She's pregnant
So
as well, right?
she is pregnant. Yes, she
The only
is.
pregnant champion in WWE history.
Exactly. So she's doing pretty well for herself. So Mike, his first run lasts no days. Maria holds the belt from July 29th to August 5th, whenever she is at a OBGYN appointment. Mike Kanellis sneaks in, gives her a hug, but counts it as a pinfall, steals the belt back, runs out of the room, and is almost immediately ambushed by R-Truth, who wins the belt back. Okay? So that is, those are the 3 championship reigns for the Kanellises. You know, questionable, yes. However, it's also more than Ty Dillinger did. So you got to take the good with the bad. You know what I mean?
At least Ty Dillinger was over.
Right, he was over, and they didn't do anything with him, and they couldn't. If he had held on a little bit longer, he could have got that 24/7 championship. But he just left when he did. What
Had
else?
to go to AEW and make a name for himself.
Can you believe that guy? He's got some nerve. He should have done what Mike and Maria did. Just stick around and get some money.
Nothing.
Hey.
Well, that's is that not like a common kind of criticism about Mike and Maria Kanellis, that they basically, I don't know the whole details of it, but they got a WWE contract, and then like Maria immediately fell pregnant, and then WWE paid for Mike Kanellis' drug treatment and all of that.
Yes.
And like the whole thing is that they basically use WWE to, get him to pay for all this shit, basically.
Yeah, and don't you think that's awesome? Like,
Yeah, damn right. If you're gonna get that kind of offer, you may as well take advantage of it. Fucking right.
exactly. Like, if you're gonna game the system, do it exactly like that. You know what I mean? Like, now that she's pregnant again, so they're gonna have to, and they've just re-signed new deals, which I think is probably related. You know what I mean? Like,
So yeah, I remember them hyping it on social media, saying they were try to tease that they're going to AEW, so WWE would offer them a lot of money.
yeah. So they got a lot of money, and now Marie gets to take some time off. It's genius.
Yeah, they know
They're
how
so
to play
smart.
the game. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I can't fault them for that.
Damn right.
But that's pretty much the history of these 3 characters. It's not a storied history, but then again, it only was like 2 years ago. So you know what I mean? That's fair. But it gives me a lot of room to work with. Now, I remember coming up with this storyline about this kind of time. Like, I was watching, the shows, and I was talking to some of my friends, and I just out of nowhere, I was like, why don't they do this? Like, instead of just having nobody, instead of just saying, we have nothing for you, I'm like, I came up with a storyline in like 2 minutes. I'm like, how can you could do this? You could flesh it out a bit more, but like, this is it. So that storyline is pretty much what you're going to hear tonight. Flesh it out a little bit more. And I like it. So, we'll see how it goes. So
what's your overall opinion of Mike Kanellis?
Well, here's the thing, right? I was watching TNA whenever Mike and Maria were in TNA, and Maria was great. She's such a good heel. She was really good on the mic and everything she did. She was perfect. But Mike never seemed to do a whole lot. And I'm like, I want to see more of this guy. Like, I don't know if he's good because I've never seen him properly work. And I was hoping to see some of that now that he's signed with the WWE, but they're not putting him on TV. So I'm like, how am I supposed to know if this guy's good?
I think that's the thing. Like, I think that's why I was a little bit dubious about your choice of Mike Kanellis, because I don't really know much about the guy. I know he was in Ring of Honor as Mike Bennett, then he was in TNA as Mike Bennett, and then he was in WWE as Mike Kanellis.
Yeah.
But I know that he got himself through like drug rehab, and then got himself into like phenomenal shape, and he's currently on 205 Live, I think. But yeah, I don't know anything about the guy other than that. He's very much a complete blank canvas for me, other than the fact that he's married to Maria, which opens up those kind of possibilities with having a good manager by your side. So
yeah, well, that was the thing. Like, whenever they introduced them in the WWE, like, they came out, the 2 of them came out on like stage at some pay-per-view and kind of made like a grand entrance to tell the world that they had arrived. And it seemed
yeah, it had really good entrance music.
Yeah, so it seemed like a really good, like, if they're gonna introduce them like that, obviously they're gonna follow up on it, right? No. They got fucking disappeared.
Don't be so.
However, like, you touched upon Mike's rehab trip. I don't know if trip is the right word. It's probably not a trip. I'm just going to rehab.
Trip's
You
got
know?
kind of positive connotations to
Yeah.
like a school
Just
trip.
taking
School
a trip
trip to
to
dog
rehab,
rehab.
and then after that we'll get ice cream. Probably not like that, but his stint in rehab was a kind of like late 2017,
Right.
right? So obviously, for the purposes of my storyline, he didn't go to rehab, but also he doesn't have a drug problem or an alcohol problem, so it doesn't factor into it.
Mm.
We don't have to worry about that. That doesn't count. So anyway, let's do this. All
Let's
right.
do it.
Yeah. So
Make some cake.
we're gonna make some bloody kayfabe. Gonna trip to kayfabe town. I don't know.
This is the trip.
Well, it's gonna get worse. So Mike and Maria, they made that debut where they come out. They have the entrance, the power of love. They're like a couple, and they're a heel couple who show off the fact that they're so in love that they can do anything. They can conquer anything with the power of love. I mean, that's obviously a heel thing and not a face thing because they're not being truthful about it. They're just like. They're like, look how in love we are. Aren't we the greatest? Really, they're championing themselves and not their own love for each other. It's a good way to get heat, I think.
Being in love is such a heelish thing to do.
But you know what I mean, though. Like it's not really about the power of love. It's the fact that they're heels and they cheat a lot. But they say it was love that made us win. But really, it's cheating.
I remember when I turned heel and got a girlfriend.
You're still a heel.
I'm still a heel.
You still have a girlfriend. You see what I mean?
Exactly, but maybe no, that's a horrible thing to say. I was gonna say maybe I'll turn babyface one day, but that's terrible. I shouldn't say that at all.
No, you want to keep being a heel, so you keep a girlfriend, right?
That's it. Yeah, she's very nice. Yeah,
she is. She's lovely. She's a face.
Yeah, she's a real face. Yeah.
Heck yeah. Anyway, let's not spend too much time talking about your girlfriend on this podcast because I don't think she'd like that.
No.
But anyway,
She's not gonna listen.
yeah, she's not gonna. No, yeah, don't worry about it. So Mike and Maria, they're championing the power of love, and they are on the main roster for like a month or two, and they just kind of like they show off the fact that the power of love is really just the power of cheating and distracting the referee with a manager while somebody cheats and etc. etc. So around about this time, Maria approaches Ty Dillinger backstage, and she says, "Listen, you're not doing a whole lot right now, and me and Mike, we're together with the power of love. We can do anything. We can make you a star. Why don't we join forces? Ty Dillinger and Mike Bennett form a tag team. Now, Ty Dillinger, he's a good guy through and through. Solid babyface. He's not really into these kind of shenanigans. However, like I said earlier, once he came up in April, we're talking maybe like September, October right now. He hasn't really done a whole lot, so he's like, maybe if I do join forces with them, I can try and like stop them from being heels. I can try and, if I'm on their side, I can see what the bad things they're doing, and I can try to stop that. So maybe in turn show them the power of being a good guy. You know what I mean? So he's conflicted, but he says, you know what? Okay, we'll see about that. He's conflicted basically. He's not sure. So he kind of like, for the first time he meets Maria backstage, he says, you know what, I'm good. I'm okay. He goes out and let's say he loses a match. Okay. Next week on SmackDown, Maria approaches him again and says, listen, man, you lost that match. You don't have the power of love in you. You need to open your heart. You need to accept that the power of love can bring you success. So by this point, he's done nothing. He lost the match last week. Now he's thinking, what else have I got to lose? I could give it a shot. So he's like, okay, fair enough. Let's see if I can use a real power of love to try and turn you guys into faces. So they start to team together, let's say September, and they start to win some matches. They're doing pretty well. Some of these wins are like, Ty Dillinger getting the pinfall clean. Some of these wins are from Maria being a distraction and Mike cheating, or Maria getting involved somehow. Sometimes at the beginning, Ty Dillinger doesn't always notice Maria cheating. He'll just like turn around and see that Mike has scored the winning pinfall, and they celebrate. Hey, you see this? We're a great team. Whereas Mike knows that they've been cheating. So that goes on for a couple of weeks. Eventually, Ty Dillinger sees Maria cheating, and he's like, "That's not cool, man." But at the same time, we're doing really well as a tag team. You know what I mean? We're winning matches. He overlooks whenever he sees Maria cheating that one time. He's like, you know what? I'll let it slide for now because we're on a roll. Let's see where we can go. Okay, so we'll go to October 2017. In real life, the Usos won the tag team championships from the New Day on October 8th at Hell in a Cell. So we're gonna change that a little bit. We're going to keep the belts on the New Day because they're a good face team. So we're going to keep the belts on the New Day. Mike Kanellis and Ty Dillinger, the Power of Love, the Love Connection. That's a good one.
Love
Connection. I don't really have a good tag team name for them.
You just come up with that in the spot.
Yeah.
You're so prepared.
Thanks, man. Like, what would be a good tag team name for them? The Perfect Love, 10 Love.
What was the one you just said?
The Love Connection.
Yeah, that's really nice. I like that.
We'll go with Love Connection. All right.
Love Connection.
Yeah.
Love Connection 10.
Yeah, 10 Love Connection. Okay, we'll figure it out. So the Love Connection, because they've been winning so many matches, find themselves in contendership for the tag team championship. So they challenge the New Day at Survivor Series, which is the next pay-per-view. Because at the time they were running like 2 pay-per-views a month, a Raw one and a SmackDown one. The next pay-per-view would have been Survivor Series. So Survivor Series comes along. Survivor Series 2017, the New Day versus the Love Connection. And in this match, Maria gets involved. The referee is distracted by some shenanigans on the outside. He's like yelling at Mike to get back in the ring or to get back in the apron or whatever. Maria enters the ring and kicks one of the New Day in the dick. Let's say Xavier Woods. Why not? Right? Just one of those guys. She comes in and like does a low blow, blatant cheating. Ty Dillinger is a legal man. So he's looking at Maria, and Maria's telling him to get down and pin the guy to win the belts. So he's like conflicted because he's a good guy and he doesn't want to cheat. However, the win is right there. You know what I mean? So he has to make a decision. And at that moment, he decides reluctantly to make the pin. And he gets the pin. Yeah. Ooh. Right? It sounds, he feels conflicted because he's like, I'm going against all of my kind of, sense of morals. But at the same time, the Power of Love has got them success. They're now tag team champions. Everything Maria said was true. They're now tag team champions. Once they started teaming together, they actually started getting traction. People noticed them. Technically, everything Maria said was true. So now we have a situation where Mike and Maria come out and they're constantly in everybody's face. Because they're like, you see what the Power of Love can do? It won us the tag titles. We can do anything. This is just the start. We'll go to Raw and win those tag titles. We'll unify them. We'll go to NXT and win those tag titles. We'll win all the titles because they're, high on the Power of Love. Obviously, Ty Dillinger is upset. On one hand, he's happy to be a champion, but it's not the way he wanted to be a champion. He didn't want that because he's a good guy. So yeah, he's conflicted. Wearing that championship feels pretty good, but at the same time, it's not the way he wanted to win it. So he's not too sure what to do. Clash of Champions is the next pay-per-view. It's on December 17th. Mike and Ty Dillinger retain against the New Day because they had a little rematch clause, so they work a little angle. The Love Connection win once again. However, we're now at December now. Ty is like, we can't keep doing this. We can't keep cheating. Maria's always in the way. Mike, you're always like putting your hands on the referee and stuff, like pushing him away. It's not going to work. We need to like be smart about this. The way it wins is Maria once again gets involved. Ty this time is like, I can't do it. We beat the New Day once unfairly. We have to beat them on our own. We can't be cheating like this. While he's yelling at Maria, Mike tags himself in and sneaks the pinfall.
Son of a bitch.
So Mike, sneaks the pinfall. After that, Ty Dillinger is like, we totally should not have done that. We should have went in there like men and fought them properly because we beat them for the championships under questionable circumstances to begin with. Now we should have given them a straight up rematch to see who really is the better men. You know what I mean? Mike and Maria don't see it that way. They're like, screw you, buddy. We're the tag team champions. We did this. You know what I mean? It's because of us that we're successful. So you better watch, you got to know your role. Shut your mouth. And then The Rock's like, dude, my fucking catchphrase. You get your own catchphrase. And then he goes away again. I'm like, see you later, Rocky.
Bye, Rock.
Yeah, thanks for coming, dude. Good to see you. So that was in December. It rolls around to the Royal Rumble. The tag titles aren't on the line, I don't think. So both Ty and Mike are in the Royal Rumble. At some point, they're both in the ring at the same time. Maria is escorting Mike down the ringside, and both Mike and Maria start to yell at Ty Dillinger. They're like, "Guy, you're the, no offense, but you're kind of the weak link here. So it's a Royal Rumble. Who deserves the title shot? Mike. You have to help Mike get rid of everybody else and then throw yourself over the top rope."
Ooh.
Obviously, Ty is like, "I'm not doing that. I'm going to win this. I'm my own man. I can do this. I don't need you guys. Why would I help him win?" And then, they're like, "We help you win all the time. You're the tag champion. So now you help us win." They're having this big argument in the middle of the Royal Rumble. So that means they're prime targets for somebody like Braun Strowman to just eliminate both of them at once. Obviously, that doesn't sit well with Mike and Maria. They're like, "You cost us a chance at the Royal Rumble. We could have had a main event spot at WrestleMania. The Power of Love could have main event at WrestleMania, and you ruined that for us." Ty is like, "Guys, you've been a thorn in my side ever since we met. You're making me question who I am. You're cheating all the time. You're making me look bad by association. You know what I mean? I'm a good guy. I'm a good worker, and I don't want to cheat all the time. It's not fair." However, despite them bickering, they still decided to defend their belts on SmackDown because they weren't defending them at the Royal Rumble. So they defend their belts again on SmackDown. It doesn't matter against who. Let's say Primo and Epico. Could be anybody.
Could be anyone.
Yeah. So they defend the belts again, but you can still see during the match that there's like tension there. There's like conflict. They're aggressively tagging each other in and out. They're not having a good time. So the next SmackDown pay-per-view is Fastlane. Everybody's favorite. It's Fastlane.
So it's the worst name for a pay-per-view ever because it's all like the Fastlane to WrestleMania, isn't it? And it's.
I think surely Great Balls of Fire was the worst.
That was pretty bad. I'm trying to think
of
something worse.
When you think of like a pay-per-view, a wrestling pay-per-view, you're like, "What are you gonna watch on Sunday?" I'm like, "I'm gonna watch Great Balls of Fire." And Brock Lesnar's gonna be there. You're like, "Oh."
I miss the old days when it used to be No Way Out. That was awesome.
No Way Out was awesome. Don't get rid of No Way Out. That's cool.
Yeah, that's it. But
look, it's Fastlane bullshit. So we gotta stick around for Fastlane.
Ridiculous.
It is ridiculous, but that's the world we live in. So March 11th, 2018 is going to be, that's the date of Fastlane. So we're going to have the New Day, we're going to have the Usos, Chad Gable, Shelton Benjamin. Those three teams up to that point have all been trying to get a hold of those championships. The New Day were the former champions. They want their titles back. The Usos always in the championship hunt. Chad Gable, Shelton Benjamin, they have something to prove. They want to go out there, try to win the belts. But the three of them, it's very hard for one team to get ahead of the other one. So all four teams are placed in a tag team match at Fastlane. So then once again, almost exactly the same situation that happened at Survivor Series to cause them to win the belts. Maria cheats. Ty Dillinger is in the middle of the ring. He's the one that is supposed to go for the pinfall. She's yelling at him. She's like, "No, we have to do it now. There's three other teams. Now, pin him." This time, Ty Dillinger is like, "No, that's not fair on any of these guys. It's not fair on me. I've had enough of this. I'm not winning this way. It's not happening." And then, of course, that argument leaves Ty Dillinger totally open to be attacked by the New Day, and they take out the champions. So now, Ty Dillinger, Mike Kanellis, the Love Connection, they've lost the championships.
Ooh.
Due to that argument in the middle of the ring. So, obviously, Mike and Maria, they're pissed. They're like, "Are you serious? This happened because of you. This is ridiculous." So, next week, Mike and Ty have words in the middle of the ring, and they're like, we can't do this. This is ridiculous. You cost us the match. I've had enough of this." Ty Dillinger has been taking this crap for months. Since September, basically. We're now in March of the next year. And he finally snaps. He's like, "I'm done." He starts attacking Mike, chases Maria away. The two of them, heels up the arse, manage to slither away. But Ty Dillinger is pissed. He's like, "That's the end of this. You guys have been running the show for way too long." The week after that, Mike and Maria come out and they start talking about how they're the best and they don't even need Ty Dillinger. Why would they need Ty Dillinger? You know what I mean? The Power of Love won those tag titles. It wasn't Ty Dillinger. You go back and look at the history books. It was Mike and Maria that did all the work, basically. So they even say, listen, man, we can win the tag team championships with anybody to prove that the Power of Love is a real thing. We don't even need Ty Dillinger. Fuck him. So 1 week on SmackDown, they say, hey, New Day, come at us. We want another shot. We don't even need Ty Dillinger. They just like go backstage and pick some fucking guy. Let's, for the sake of an example, I picked Mojo Rawley.
Okay.
Because it doesn't matter. Some fucking guy who loses all the time.
Right,
You know what I mean? They say, we can even win with this fucking guy. We can even win, like right beside him. They're like, we can even win with Mojo Rawley. And he's like,
even Mojo.
yeah, he's like, dude, I'm right here.
Poor
But they
Mojo.
don't care because they're the bad guys. They're the heels. Doesn't matter. So they're like, yeah, we're going to win with this guy. So New Day are like, okay, fine, whatever. You know, the way that's the way they do things. So like, yeah, whatever. So we have this match, Mike Kanellis and Mojo Rawley for the tag team championships against the New Day. During the match, Ty Dillinger comes out, attacks Mike, and the match is thrown out. So the Power of Love don't manage to regain their championships like they said they would. And it's all because of Ty Dillinger. Once again, they're like, guy, you have to stop this. You are the thorn in our side. You ruined this. We were successful, and you made a mockery out of us, and we won't have that because the Power of Love can trump everything. And also, you're a bad boy, and nobody likes you.
Etc.
They're really snappy on the mic, you know. Ty Dillinger is like, I'm a good boy. How dare you? I'm really cool. And I've got sunglasses and a surfboard. You know, I'm a cool guy. Oh, that's a different gimmick. We'll worry about that later. But basically, now we have Ty Dillinger and Mike Kanellis. They're both angry at each other. They're seething with rage.
Two angry men.
What?
Two angry men.
Two angry men, exactly. So now Mike wants to prove that Ty Dillinger is just a loser. He doesn't know how to wrestle because all of the wins that he's had is because of Mike and Maria. He wants to prove that the Power of Love can do anything, including beating some fucking guy. Ty wants to prove the Power of Love is all nonsense and that they only won because they cheated and they don't have to cheat to win. It's possible to do that. So now we have a grudge match around about WrestleMania time.
Oh.
We've had since September. Now we're into April. That's a lot. You know, that's 7 months, 8 months of build up between these two guys. So they're ready to explode. They have their one-on-one match at WrestleMania. Knowing the way that company does, it's probably on the pre-show, which is bullshit. I'm putting it main card somewhere.
Main event.
maybe not the main event, but it's on the main card because this is a story that has build up and people want to see Ty finally overcome the odds. They want to see him because he's the underdog in all this. They know he's a good guy and they know that he's right. They want to see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like
you've got your Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins. You've got your fucking, I can't remember what was there in WrestleMania this year, but fuck it. Let's get Ty Dillinger versus Mike Kanellis main event.
Well, not main event, but you know what I mean. Like it has build, and now the two guys have character to them. Ty isn't just like a doofy, sweetheart. You're like, oh, look at me, I'm good all the time. You know, like there's conflict there, and Mike has something to prove. He wants to go out and prove that he's the best wrestler. So we have a good gold grudge match at WrestleMania. Obviously, because it's wrestling, Ty Dillinger wins the match, despite Maria trying to cheat. So that's the hook. Maria tries to cheat as usual. Ty Dillinger doesn't even go for it. Gets rid of Maria. Manages to win the match on his own by himself. So he's finally put down, the chip on his shoulder that he's had for 7 or 8 months. He's been able to prove to Mike and Maria personally that you don't have to cheat to win and to be successful.
What a guy.
Because he finally is able to vanquish his longtime foe, Mike Kanellis. Right? So after that, you've got like a really good face in Ty Dillinger. You can do all sorts of stuff with him. And at the same time, you've got the perfect heat magnets, I should have said, heel magnets. You got the perfect heat magnets in Mike and Maria, because you've got months of proving what they can do when they cheat and when they work together. So after WrestleMania, you've instantly got two guys you can do literally anything with. You've built them up. Now Ty could be one of those Intercontinental champions who's all like, I'm fighting for what's right. On the flip side, you can do exactly the same thing with Mike, because both of them have that kind of build and push towards them. They actually look like superstars now. They actually look like they've been built up, which they have done. And also, it gives it makes the SmackDown Tag Team Championships look good because they're involved in the storyline itself. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily about winning and losing and being the champion and stuff. The titles are part of the storyline.
Yeah, that's the prize.
Exactly. That's like the catalyst of it all, and that's the fact that they lost the belts again is what makes them finally get together and fight. So there you've built up 2 stars already, and you've like brought a little bit of like purpose and legitimacy to the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. That is my storyline. What do you think of that? I think
like it.
It's pretty. Honestly, I think, the fact that it just takes 2 guys who aren't doing anything and takes like a pretty like standard kind of storyline. You make it work, but like that kind of thing works in wrestling a lot. And at its core, it really just is good guy versus bad guy. And like you can do that. You can tell a story, and it doesn't have to be overcomplicated. And it doesn't have to be silly. It can just be a proper storyline that would exist in wrestling that would build 2 new superstars.
That's it. It's a good old fashioned storyline. You've got your good guy and you've got your bad guy. Good guy likes doing good things. Bad guy is a bit of a dick. He likes doing bad things. That's basically it. So you've got Ty Dillinger, not wanting to cheat. You've got Mike Kanellis always wanting to cheat with Maria. And yeah, I mean that's I like it. I think with pretty much everything on this show, we have to rely on WB being able to book more than 2 weeks ahead at a time. But yeah. I mean, I would love for them to be able to give guys like Mike Kanellis and Ty Dillinger and even Mojo Rawley a light, shine a light on them and show how good they can be, kind of thing. Because that's why they're not building any new stars. Like, you could easily make a star out of anyone in that company. You name a wrestler, and again, this is the premise of the show as well. Like you can make a good storyline out of anything that happens. Anyone in wrestling can have a good story as long as there's some kind of a methodicalness to actually pulling things together for them. So, and I think what you kind of wrote there, you say you came up with that in like 2 minutes or something.
Yeah.
That shows what you can do if you just put your mind to it and just have some patience with the booking and just try with these guys.
Exactly. Like that was just me picking 2 guys who weren't doing anything, and I'm like, why not make them do something? Because then after that, if the crowd aren't into it, then you can say, at least we tried. At least we tried to push these guys. The crowd weren't totally into it. They weren't buying it, whatever. But
that's it as well.
If you give them a good storyline first and then see where it goes after that, it's up on them. But if you just give them nothing and go make something out of that, they can't do it. They need to be on TV and they need storylines to engage with people. Totally. And that's how you get over, So
yeah.
Well, yeah, that was just me picking 2 guys kind of at random. I'm like, if like I said, I didn't put a whole lot of thought into it to begin with, because I'm like, I could probably book something decent like that with no thought put into it.
Yeah, I like that you randomly chose Mojo Rawley as well, and he's actually one that would probably be good to get an episode on in the future, because have you heard that guy cut promos?
Yeah.
He have you seen the promo he done like probably a few years ago now against Zack Ryder?
Yes.
It's him holding a camera phone up to himself and just shouting at the camera.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy he's got such good promo skills. Like you put that guy in any other company, you put him in like AEW or you put him in Japan, and he can make a huge star of himself. And as of right now, he's doing nothing in WWE. It baffles me how they can mess things up with such a talented guy. Maybe he's not talented in the ring, but I mean, charisma wise and promo wise, he can do a lot for himself just by giving him a damn microphone.
Well, here's the thing, right? You take that kind of structure that I just kind of went through. Like, obviously, you remove the power of love idea, but if you take like that standard, like heel cheats to win, tries to make friends with a babyface doesn't like it. Eventually they split, they have a conflict there. You could take that with anybody. For example, Mojo Rawley could be the heel, but imagine a guy like Apollo Crews as a face. That guy, hell of an athlete, never gets the TV time he deserves, And a program like that would really help him develop a kind of voice. Like, I think one of the things he's not great at is promo stuff. But you give him a program like that, he's gonna work it out. He's gonna figure it out. And then also on the flip side, working in the ring, like with a guy like Apollo Crews, Mojo Rawley is bound to improve as well. That way, by the end of it, you'll have two superstars. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to, like, people slag off like Vince Russo a lot from the Attitude Era, but the one thing he was able to do was give everybody a storyline.
Yeah, that's like his main kind of positive about what he was doing. But I mean, then WCW happened, and he kind of shit all over that.
That is true, and at least he tried there as well. Wasn't always good. Most of the time it was bad. But if a lot of it, okay, in WCW, almost all of it was bad.
Yeah, almost.
Yeah, okay. But
we can talk about Russo another time. I've got a lot to say about Russo. But
we will definitely be covering a lot of Russo era WCW stuff in the future. That is a fact.
That can be a little kind of maybe every 10 episodes we can do a book it like Russo kind of episodes, and you book somebody like Russo.
You know what we should do? We should make that like another like end thing. So like 1 week we could do the Kayfabe Tombola, and then 1 week we could be like book this like Russo would.
I think Kayfabe Tombola basically is making it like Russo. Like last week, I had the fucking BWO winning the tag team titles, the blue tag team titles, and yeah, like, I don't know, that is basically booking it like Russo. So
will you see what you're up for this week?
Oh god, I can't wait.
Because like on every podcast that we do, we always end it with a little bit of a Kayfabe Tombola, which is where the host of the show, this week it was me, comes up with some scenarios. Well, comes up with some people that Bryce has to pick from, and then some scenarios. Bryce picks a random letter and number that I have assigned to these people in those scenarios. I reveal what the results are. He has 1 minute to give me a really good storyline involving that person and that scenario.
And we're not going to use that awful website again.
We have learned our lesson.
It's so bad.
We tried. God bless us. We tried our best, and we just couldn't do it. It was a bit too much for us, I think.
When it gets to the point where you have to click like 10 to 20 times before you get something that's not about murder or rape or like just awful things.
Some of them were really rough, so we would not recommend. If you want to laugh, you can go check it out, but don't try to book your own storylines with this, because it's not going to work.
No, never.
So, Bryce, would you like to play Kayfabe Tombola?
I would love to.
Excellent. It's going to be £17 a go.
Okay. Well, I've got 20.
Oh, I've got £3 of change, so you'll be okay.
Perfect. Right. One Kayfabe Tombola, please.
You got it. So, the way I like to do it is, I would like you to pick a number between 1 and 4 and a letter between A to D. You tell me what that is. I will tell you what you could have had first, and then I will reveal the storyline that you have been chosen with. Okay?
All right. Okay. So give me 1A. 1A.
1A. Okay.
1A.
Interesting. Here's what you could have had. You could have had Shark Boy.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Headbanger Thrasher.
Again.
He's sticking around. Or Chili Willy. Do you remember Chili Willy?
I don't remember Chili Willy, no.
Chili Willy was a guy in ECW. He didn't win a whole lot.
All right.
Let's just put that way. And then the scenarios you could have had were starts his own straight edge society.
Okay.
Spills hot coffee over Kane backstage.
Yes.
Or fights The Undertaker in a ladder match for the Hardcore Championship.
Ah.
You did not pick any of those.
I did not. What did I pick?
You picked Ivory.
Oh, no.
Drops a World Championship belt in a bin on a rival television promotion.
Ivory drops a world title in the bin on a rival television.
I really wish... Oh, you know what? I actually have a bonus one. Do you want to have this one instead? Because that storyline is very similar to the Medusa thing.
I mean, I think I can roll with it.
It has to be different from Medusa, though.
Yeah, go. Fuck it, give me it. I can do something with that. I can bullshit that.
I like it. You've got 60 seconds. Would you like me to start the timer? I'll count you down.
Give me 5 minutes. I can make a marvel out of this.
Well, I'm afraid
don't have to give me 5 minutes.
I can only give you 1 minute, I'm afraid.
All right.
I could give you 1 minute and 1 second maybe, but that's it. That's as best I can.
Right.
Are you ready? I'm going to start it after. I'm going to count down from 3. You ready?
I'm not ready, but go for it.
You got to do it. 3.
This is gonna
2,
suck.
1, go.
All right, so Ivory was women's champion in like 2001 or something, right? Because I remember she defended the title against China at WrestleMania 17, I think it was. And she was champion at one point. So she was in this horrible gimmick, the right to censor gimmick. You know, they come out wearing the white shirts and they're all against, you know, bad things in wrestling, like you know, sexuality and all these things that they I don't know. So yeah, let's say she gets tired of that. She wants to be a serious wrestler. She's not a gimmick. She's not a cartoon. So she goes to at the time, let's say it's ECW's gone, WCW, let's say, and she said, you know, I am not a gimmick. I am a serious wrestler. I am a serious women's wrestler. I'm one of the best in the world. I've been doing this since fucking early 90s or wherever she's in wrestling from. I was in Glow, that kind of thing, and she kind of has a bin, and she says, you know, I'm not going to be. What am I going to... I'm not going to be putting up with kind of cartoon gimmicks anymore. Cartoon championship. She puts the title in the bin and she wrestles Hulk Hogan for the world title and fucking kills him. And Ivory's your WCW world champion, basically.
You know what's funny about that is, had that happened, that would have been more entertaining than some of the stuff WCW did with their World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah, I was kind of clutching at straws there because you said like not like Medusa, but like how many other ways can you put a championship in a bin?
Well, I had
a rival company.
I know that was the problem. I had a different one that I was gonna say because I had started to write like, you know, next week's suggestions, so I had one written for that, and I'm like, I could have went with that one.
They're not all going to be not all going to be hits.
Hey, I tell you what though, you did pretty well. I mean, I didn't see the Hulk Hogan thing coming.
Oh yeah, that's a swerve, bro.
It was a swerve. I didn't see it coming. That was well played.
Oh.
So there you go. That's the show.
That's it. So yeah.
That's us for this week. Remember to tune in next week because it's going to be great. But also, we would very much like it if you guys could check us out on Twitter and...
Oh, hell yeah. So, at Making Kayfabe on Twitter, and we've also got an email account, a Gmail account, shall we say, which is makingkayfabe@gmail.com. Feel free to send through ideas, suggestions, things that you want to hear in the show, and yeah, maybe we will be very thankful for that because we're running out of ideas. So,
well, we got a lot of ideas, but I tell you what, if you guys want to send us in some like scenarios or suggestions for Kayfabe Tombola,
there's an idea.
That would be pretty good.
Make sure they all include Viscera.
Well, and Headbanger Thrasher.
And don't forget Headbanger Thrasher. Is he basically your Viscera now?
It looks like it. It looks like it. But anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. Make sure to tune in next week whenever my good friend Bryce is going to be handling hosting responsibilities. He's going to have a great storyline ready for you guys. Check us out on those social media links. And thank you for listening. We will see you guys in the next episode. Take care.
Ciao.